This is the city of Chicago, Illinois. The metropolitan area of Chicago, with its 10 million residents and its glorious architecture, supports two of our planet's leading universities, the University of Chicago and Northwestern University. These universities in turn play host to two of the world's top 10 business schools. Chicago Business School's excellence for economics, the discipline out of which marketing emerged in the earliest 20th century, is matched only by the excellence of the Kellogg Business School of Northwestern, generally acknowledged to be the world's leading school for marketing, mostly due to the eminence of one extraordinary academic, Professor Philip Kotler. In our classes, Phil Kotler has already figured twice, but perhaps his greatest contribution to the theory of marketing was to observe that marketing can be effective beyond the limiting field of commerce. By presenting marketing tools as controlling what he called an exchange of values, he took marketing theory outside the confines of simple commerce, where products, goods such as shampoo, iPhones, cars, are exchanged for money, and identified marketing as the motor of value exchange, designating marketers as those who may control the process by which any value is exchanged for another value. Contexts for career marketers' engagement in exchanges of values, to flow directly from Kotler's observations, have been politics, charities, and other not-for-profit ventures, which had prior to the 1960s not been widely recognized as providing remunerative careers for marketers. We are a more successful profession, wider recognized for what we can achieve, and richer, for Philip Kotler. There was no doubting Kotler's genius, but he was clearly not observing a new phenomenon. Human beings have been attempting to control exchanges since we first dropped out of the trees. Man is a social animal and lives by exchanging values. What Kotler was doing was to evolve marketing out of intuition, instinct, and locate it as consciously applied method. Even this was not as original as it seemed in 1960s Chicago, and not as original as it still seems to scholars today. Indeed, had the lens of economic scholars been focused just 300 miles away, they would have found that another city had been playing host for over 100 years to a practical experiment, a hugely successful experiment in leading people out of the darkness of marketing intuition into the light of consciously applied marketing method. Let's ride the interstate as I first did many years ago from Chicago to Cincinnati. Close to the waterfront of the mighty Ohio River squat the massive twin towers which house the general offices of the Procter & Gamble Company. The river looks up at the towers, and the towers look down on the river as it flows downstream towards the Mississippi, New Orleans, and the distant Gulf of Mexico. If the Ohio River, as it winds around the Queen City, could talk, it would have an extraordinary tale to tell. A tale of a tiny family business which grew to become the world's biggest advertiser and leading marketer, a global giant, and rival to Kellogg as the most respected school of marketing on the planet. Let's get to know P&G better in our next class. So this is Cincinnati, Queen City, known less romantically in the 19th century as Porkopolis. It was big in pigs. Since 1868, home to the oldest team in Major League Baseball, and since 1837, home to the Procter & Gamble Company. William Procter and James Gamble, two young immigrants, opened a business, Procter & Gamble Soap and Candle Makers, on the corner of 6th and Main Street. That's just 1 block away from the twin towers of today's central offices. From these modest beginnings, Procter & Gamble has grown to annual sales of $70 billion. Marketing over 200 brands in almost every country on the planet. But it isn't the size of P&G that interests us as marketers. It is how P&G marketing fits into the context of marketing's history. How Procter & Gamble took a craft which hitherto had been purely intuitive, labeled it, refined it, developed it, sophisticated it, and practiced it with a method and purpose unmatched by any other company anywhere on earth. P&G has a strong claim to have invented modern marketing. Even the word as we understand it now. University lecturer Ralph Starr Butler used the word marketing to describe his experiences at P&G in his textbook Marketing Methods, published in 1915, the first time marketing in a modern sense appears in print. In 1879, P&G became one of the first businesses to create value around a carefully chosen brand name for a new mass-market product. Modern brand management was conceived about 1880 with the launch of P&G's Ivory Soap, and an advertising slogan which lasted over a century, 99 and 44 100% pure, it floats. Developing the concept of managing brands as discrete standalone business. In 1931, P&G appointed the world's first brand manager, Neil McElroy, subsequently Secretary of the United States Defense Department, where he incidentally launched the brand NASA, a brand which we all know well. Each of P&G's hundreds of brands brands across the world, still has a brand manager to this day. P&G invented market research in 1926, appointing Paul Doc Smelzer as manager of the world's first marketing research department, which by retirement he had built up to some 3,000 researchers. Procter & Gamble has been the world's biggest advertiser for decades. P&G was a pioneer of radio advertising, as they were of TV, and remain so in the field of internet and social media brand advertising. The phrase soap opera comes from the thousands of hours of radio and TV drama produced by P&G to sell their soap brands. In 1999, the editors of Advertising Age, the house magazine of the US advertising and marketing industry, unanimously voted to name Marketer of the 20th Century the Procter & Gamble Company, just 160 years after its startup on the banks of the Ohio. The Ohio River has seen a modest 19th century startup become the acknowledged University of Modern Marketing. The wise marketer observes P&G closely, and in our course we will do so. But what of marketing before P&G? In the next class we will ride back in time and visit early marketing in the cave.